Debbie here, and here is another dose of Dr. Debbie as part of the From Betrayal to Breakthrough podcast. There's a saying that, I'm not kidding, it's my 30th year in business, and this is a saying I have been using for 30 years. It applies to every single topic in life. And I want to share it with you because I have a feeling if you embrace this mantra, you will see so clearly how you're showing up. More importantly, what you can do to change what isn't working for you. Ready? Easy now, hard later. Hard now, easy later. Take your pick. It's going to be one of those two. So here's what I mean. Use it for anything. Let's take weight loss, for example. Easy now. There are the cookies and I want them. Hard later, I can't button my pants, right? Hard now, I really want those cookies, but I really want to feel good too. Easy later, look how great my clothes fit me. You see? Any topic, I don't want to have that awkward conversation, so I'm just going to pretend that that everything's okay. Easy now. Hard later, wow, this issue is still lingering. Right? Hard now, I don't want to have that awkward conversation, but I know I need to clear the air. Easy later. Wow, clearer understanding. We both understand where each other is coming from. Where I see it play out so much, of course, I run the PBT, Post-Betrayal Transformation Institute, and I see it so clearly within our institute, and it shows up in so many ways where someone may have had an experience of easy now. This is really uncomfortable. This is really painful. I just don't know what to do. So I'm going to use food, drugs, alcohol, work, TV, keeping busy, reckless behavior to numb, avoid, distract from this pain that is so painful to feel or face. Hard later. It's still there. My challenge is still there. The problem is still there. I don't feel any bit better about my experience. Or hard now. This is one of the most challenging things I've ever faced. I am facing demons and slaying dragons, and this is really, really hard. Easy later. Wow. By facing it and feeling it, I'm healing it. I'm moving through this experience. I'm seeing how strong I am. I'm seeing how capable I am. Things that used to completely derail me no longer do. I'm becoming more confident. I'm putting boundaries in place that I never did before. And I'm seeing things so differently. And the more I extract myself from that situation, the more I remove myself from the experience, the more clearly I see it. And even though it happened to me, it's not about me. You see, we see so many things when we do the hard now, easy later. But let's face it, that's uncomfortable. And so many of us don't want to be uncomfortable. So we just kind of get by and we think, okay, well, you know what, I'll just move through this with, taking the path of least resistance. But you know what, if you've noticed, it doesn't go away. So what would it take for you to try the hard now, easy later, as opposed to easy now, hard later? And if you take a look, here's the other thing too, take a look at how you've handled, because usually, I remember a mentor saying, how you are in one thing is how you are in everything. So there may be many other areas of life where you chose the easy now and you're sitting there with the hard later. This becomes a habit. But what I see so often is that mountain gets bigger and bigger to climb, because as we're avoiding these things, it's just becoming too much to take on. And then it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the fear of it just makes it bigger than it is, or bigger than it needs to be. As opposed to when we opt for the hard now, I don't know how I'm going to get through this thing. I'm going to go over, around, through it, but I am getting to the other side. And whether that means chipping away at it ever so slowly, that's okay. As long as you do something incrementally every single day to move you in the direction you want to go. At least you're challenging this big obstacle that in the past may have completely derailed you. Like like I said, this could be for health, it could be for relationships, it could be for business. Any topic you choose, you can apply this. But what I see so often is so many of us opt for that easy now. And yes, it may make the moment a bit easier, but if you notice, things don't change. That issue doesn't go away. And it also erodes our confidence. How is confidence built? By having a challenge, taking it on. And then you look back and you're like, oh, look at me. Look what I just did, right? And then that gives you the confidence to try something else and something else, because now you have that example of, wow, that was something I didn't want to do. Whether it was have that difficult conversation, make that phone call, not have those cookies, whatever it is. But when you do it, you see you've survived it, and you notice how you feel, you probably feel a little bit more confident. You feel more self-assured. You feel like, okay, you know what? I can do hard things. I can do challenging things. And when I do, I feel better. I feel a sense of maybe relief, right? Because typically it's not as bad as what we perceived in our mind. And our minds can go crazy, right? Where we build something up so much bigger than it needs to be. Have you ever experienced this? Like, I mean, something is so simple as maybe there was a dessert, right? And there it was. And you just were imagining what it was going to taste like. And you were trying so hard to control yourself. And has it ever happened to you where you go ahead and you have a taste of that dessert and you're like, wasn't even as good as I thought, right? You by trying it, you realize, well, it's no big deal. Well, so often that happens when we take on those challenging things. We have that conversation. We make that phone call. We don't run from that situation, but we move towards it, right? Here's also where we need support. And I caution you, you want support from the right type of people, because the wrong type of support does more harm than good. We see this within the PBT Institute all the time. Well-meaning or not well-meaning people may try to help you, right? But what happens is they're coming from their own lens. They're coming from their own set of experiences. And do they have a hidden agenda why they may want or not want you to do something? That's likely. So, I always caution that when you're looking for that additional support, see where that person stands. What do they have to gain or lose by being completely objective? Right? And that'll give you a hint for who may be a good person to reach out to when you need. But most importantly, really what I wanted to cover today was hard now, easy later, easy now, hard later. Take your pick. It's going to be one of those two. And I really invite you to take the week and as you're moving through your day, and here comes that challenge, and it will show up. It always does. What's your go-to? Is it hard now? Is it, all right, here we go? Which builds confidence and you feel more empowered, self-assured? Or is it easy now? You know what? Forget it. This move right here, kiss of death. Now, I'm not saying it's one thing when you're just easygoing and it doesn't matter to you. Then it's like, okay, who cares, right? Like, for example, if a bunch of people are going out for dinner and they say, well, where do you want to go? I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So that's where it's like, whatever works for everybody else. But when it's something important, that's when you speak up. That's when it's hard now. Yes, this is uncomfortable. Who likes confrontation? I don't like it, but I'm going to speak up. I'm going to say what's on my mind. I'm going to have that difficult conversation because I need to set my own boundaries. I need to just be true to myself. Easy later. Now it's clear. It's clear what my boundaries are. It's clear what I'm willing to accept and not accept. You see? So for this week, I would say even put a rubber band on your wrist and snap the band, not to hurt you, to remind you when you find yourself opting for the easy now, I would say go for the hard now, which leads to the easy later. And I'll just give you one analogy. You know, I love analogies. So this one analogy of let's just take, and I may have shared this in the past, but it's so clear. Let's say you have a messy room, messy garage, right? And there it is. And you just avoid it at all costs because who wants to be in there? It's a big old mess. And you think it's not vying for your attention. Oh, but it is. And you avoid it all you can. But then think about it. There's that one day where that's the easy now. And then there's the one day where it's like, oh, you know what? That's it. I'm going in. And think about what happens. You roll your sleeves up, you grab your garbage bags, and you're like, oh, here we go. And actually, if you think about it, in the beginning, it's worse. It's worse because things are all over the place. I'm going to donate that, toss that, fix that. And then you do. And then you put everything, back that's left. And look how great it looks. You want to call everybody over and say, look at my garage. You are so proud of it, right? That was the hard now leading to the easy later. Think about it. You have this sense of pride and empowerment that you couldn't have had unless you dove in and did the work. Here it is. Now, because you dove in and did the work, you feel good. You feel good. That's the easy later. So hard now, easy later. Easy now, hard later. Take your pick. It's going to be one of those two. And I would love to hear from you to see, did you notice you were opting for more of the easy now? And has it been leading to hard later? Or have you chosen something that could potentially be hard now, leading to the easy later? I would love to hear from you and find out a little bit more about how that goes. If you are enjoying this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review. Tell your friends, tell everybody you know. And my book, Trust Again, Overcoming Betrayal and Regaining Health, Confidence, and Happiness. If you want to give it a try, you can download your free chapter. You can find that at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com/free gift. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.